Good everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. My name is Vaadwaur, and with me once again is...
Miklomaniac. Hello, Internet.
Good day. So, last time we did a whole bunch of patrols.
Yeah. Stupid patrols.
Yep. Basically...
That's it, no more patrols ever.
Well, probably not ever, but for...
Never.
No, I can't guarantee that there will never be any more, but I also can't guarantee that there will be, so just have to leave it at that.
Anyway, we're here for the dramatic conclusion.
Yeah, so this next mission...
was ruined for me by a website article this week, but whatever.
Well, no, the next mission is...
Well, the next mission was ruined, but whatever.
Yeah.
Things were ruined. Website.
Yeah. So this next mission that we're going to do, Takedown, was technically the last mission of the original Delta Rising release. There is another mission after this, which was released like a month or two later, which basically it capstones the Delta Rising story. And then we just got informed this week, sort of shifting into the news time, that there is going to be another mission being added apparently next week. I didn't realize it was that soon. And
that's what spoiled the next mission for me.
Yep. Which is going to be the start of the lead up to Season 10, which Cryptic has basically said is now going to be dedicated on, at the very least, preparing people for the war against the Iconians. Maybe not necessarily having any of it, but it should at least begin the preparations. Because I
honestly expect taking down the Iconians with as much build-up as they have to actually fully be a new expansion.
Yeah, like that's actually what I was just about to say. Like, I'm pretty sure that they are probably going to make the next expansion be like, if the next expansion is not going to be based on something like closer, like maybe doing the more stuff with the Gamma Quadrant, they are probably going to make the next expansion be the war. But this is one of those things where, like, this is... The Iconians are, to put it simply, basically Star Trek Online's Burning Legion. Like, it's probably not going to be something they're going to deal with anytime soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to have this planning conference. Okay, and as we talk to the Voyager guys, they'll let us know what the specialties of the various Delta Alliance species will bring to the table.
The hierarchy is anticipated.
The hierarchy is about reconnaissance. The Hazari were, what do they say? They're like they're very tanky. The Kazon offer a ton of ships, even if they're
lemmings,
may be kind of shitty. And the Borg are the Borg.
Yeah, the Borg are the Borg. What more do you need?
Like, yeah, you don't need to know any more about their capabilities. They are the Borg.
Resistance is futile.
Alright, so now we need to talk to the other representatives that weren't necessarily ones that we dealt with before. Like the Benthans here.
Guard is honored to join you in the fight against the Vaadwaur.
They bring law and order.
Yep. The Kabali.
So we've got like 20 seasons guaranteed.
Yep, so the Kabali... I think for this one, this is before the mission that we had recorded before. So
this is before Dust to Dust, yeah.
Yeah, so this mission, the Kabali basically provide, like, the rear logistics. The Ture give us transport, and the Talaxians...
Talaxians give us food.
And the Talaxians are Talaxians.
They give us food.
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
If you are ready, I will begin the
Alright, let's begin the presentation.
Cutscene time.
The Vaadwaur fleet has pulled back to
And here we are, a Starfleet Admiral being the slideshow guy once again. In fact, I think this is the second time we are the slideshow guy even in this place.
Mm-hmm.
And probably, I think, like the third time we've been the slideshow guy in general, so...
Look, I'll put up being the slideshow guy as long as we get to order all these people their deaths.
Something like
into
that.
Valorous battle.
Yeah, so here we go. We're starting to lay out the plans.
The Admiral has already given us our assignment. Our forces will assault the other side of the planet to secure the area against a possible retreat. Our Talaxian friends will be in charge of transporting prisoners of war.
Oh, that's what the Talaxians are doing. Okay. Sure.
They're taxi drivers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chance of success. Our battle commander will be able to call in one wing of our allies at each of the first 4 fronts. Each wing of allies has different tactical advantages. Cooperatives can confuse enemies. The Kazon have many ships and fight without fear. The hierarchy have unparalleled espionage and surveillance abilities and should be difficult to take by surprise.
They're laying out the specialties. The main reason for this is that at each one of these battlefronts, you actually have to choose one wing to come in and reinforce you, and you kind of want to choose the one that counters the makeup of the enemy fleet at that defensive line.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's also not really that difficult. They give you a few
doubted it would be.
Yeah, they actually sort of say here are the ones that do really well at this line.
We're not talking end of Mass Effect 2 then.
Yeah, pretty much. So choosing the best fit provides an advantage. Choosing the wrong fit is a disadvantage. We are ready. Okay. So large. So if we ask for his advice, they say a large number of rather weak. So he's saying the Kazon may be a good idea because they also have a lot of ships, or the Hazari because they are very defensive. So like we can,
not the cooperative,
but not the cooperative because they. To be fair, yeah, their cubes are less useful. So, do you want the Kazon or the Hazari? I think when I went through this the first time, I went with the Hazari, but it doesn't really.
Let's get the Kazon out of the way.
Sure. An excellent choice. And their lack of organization should not be too great of a hindrance. Yeah, because there's so many. Oh. Okay, so it looks like this happens regardless. I had this happen when I had the because I had the Kazon come up a little later.
Mm-hmm.
There he goes. So it's Sessin once again. Well, we'll just have to deal with this guy.
We have to kill him now, right?
I'm not sure if we kill him, but
worried they might double cross us, but I never thought they would be so blatant.
Okay, so yeah, so when I did this before, I actually used the Kazon much later, and yeah, basically the same thing happens. So
okay. It's pretty amusing.
Yeah. All right, so. Thankfully, yeah, if you choose, it looks like whatever time you choose the Kazon to bring the Kazon in, they just say nuh-uh, and basically you get the Hirogen instead. So, whatever.
You take it.
Yeah. Did you turn on your shield aura?
How'd you know I didn't?
I can not see the buff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the buff shows up on your allies.
Shh.
It's just saying.
Not like we need it.
Well,
Things are dying really
yeah.
quick.
Well, like we're also primarily shooting at Kazon at the moment. Oh, actually, yeah, there goes a whole group. So all we got left is this, the Vaadwaur group over here. Yeah, this is actually going. This is actually going a lot easier than when I did this myself. Although when I did this the first time,
There's two of us.
there's the two of us, and when I did this the first time, like it wasn't that it was difficult. It was absolutely a longer slog than this time. This mission is also a rough approximation of how one of the max level queues is done. It's just that max level queue also seems to be like incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
I've tried to do that mission a few times, and I have never been able to get out of the first phase. And the first phase is a straight up DPS check. Right, so we're a line of cruisers, so we're dealing with constant attacks. Yeah, so here, either the Hazari because they're so defensive, or they're cooperative because they're also fairly tanky and they do the confusion stuff. I don't remember. No, I think I ended up using the cooperative here because I used the Hazari first.
Well, let's use the Cesari since we used them last time.
Yeah.
Let's just be complete opposite of what you did the first time.
Sure.
I like how it's asking for votes on just the things that are one-off.
Yeah, well, it just wants to make sure that we are ready to proceed. But, yeah. So I should make sure... Did I? Okay, I did actually put my engine back in. Alright.
The Kazon Obla will no longer stand by while the Relora and Iskram sully our name.
Oh, and then looks like the Kazon will come in to help us. The other Kazons.
The other Kazon. The non-jerk Kazon.
Yeah. Which is nice of them. Yeah, like I said, when I did this the first time, I had that betrayal on the last wave of enemies.
Whoa!
Oh. Did you just walk right into all the cannons?
Apparently, because, well, I went from 75% to 0.
Yeah, that's a lot. Alright, this is actually working really well. I mean, other than, like, yeah, because it's assault cruisers, so it means they got all the cannons, which, again, like, goes back to a comment I made a lot earlier. Like, one of the problems with dealing with the Vaadwaur when we're in a group is that, you know, now you start to get 2, 3, 4 assault cruisers all together, which means that they like to alpha strike their cannon on you. You know, and there aren't very many ships and captains that can really handle that.
75% down to nothing in this ship. That's crazy.
Yeah, and like, right, to be fair, you're also not really already built for a defensive ship. But
I've been able to handle the crystalline on advanced for longer than that.
Alright, now we need to fly to each
Transmit
of
a
these.
virus.
Yeah, fly to each of these and transmit a virus.
We've defeated the first wave of Vaadwaur defenders. We are entering position for our next offense.
Please remember to direct any wounded or prisoner. That went well.
Alright, so we'll have them.
Direct any wounded or prisoners of war. That went well.
Alright, there we go. Travel to Charlie Front. Alright,
Onward!
I thought there was a third. Okay. I thought it would have warped us into the next area first.
We are facing battleships flying in formation.
Okay, now it's warping us into the next area. This is.
Oh yeah, I'm already here.
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Their ability to defeat the opponents could result in
So here we want either the cooperative or the hierarchy.
Yeah, so
So,
so basically,
the two guys we
the
haven't
two
picked
guys we
yet.
have left. I can't remember what I used here.
Let's do Borg.
Sure.
An excellent strategy. The technology of the cooperative may be able to cause the larger ships to attack.
Oh, only some spheres, but that's okay. Like, still, it's the Borg. Also, yeah, like, you know, the way we've been built, like, you know, these groups of Vaadwaur haven't actually been all that challenging either.
Fire at will is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, Fire at Will, and because you're also using the gravity. Huh?
No, I don't have gravity well anymore.
Oh no? Okay.
I don't. I only have lieutenant science slot.
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, I'm currently flying the version that has the Lieutenant Commander science slot.
Yeah, so you could get gravity well.
I could. Is Gravity Well not available any lower than Lieutenant Commander?
Nope. Gravity well 1 is lieutenant commander.
Okay, I right now I've got
2 and 3 are both commander.
yeah.
But, 3 is the one you need the book for.
Mm-hmm. Right now I've got Tychon's Rift. Is it Tychon's Rift?
Also
yeah,
a good one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tychon's Rift is a good one. Yeah, and that. But I could also actually, if I were to want to keep Tychon's Rift and put Gravity Well in there, I'd have to rework some of my skills a little bit because I got in that one's.
I think there's a lieutenant version of Tychon's Rift.
There is. It's just that in that lieutenant slot, I've got hazard emitters.
Yeah, I'd stick with more.
Yeah.
Except I'm using what, Polaroid or
Oh yeah, I've got a polar
science team and hazard emitters.
Yeah, I
for my 2.
The universal slots. I've got a science bridge officer in there, and he's using polarized hull and science team 2. Whereas my the lieutenant commander one's got science team 1, hazard emitters 2, and Tychon's Rift 2. I've also been slowly building up the abilities on my bridge officers too, the ones that I commonly use, so I can,
just switch on the fly.
Yeah, just switch like the ones I need whenever I need to move them around.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to secure
some orbital platforms,
which means flying by them and activating
doing
them.
the thing.
All right, hail the Talaxians to come in and get our prisoners. Right, so we'll have the Borg hold here, and we'll now move to Delta Front.
Delta Front.
Yeah, the Delta Alliance is now advancing to Delta Front. So we could ask for, let's just ask for his advice anyway. We only have one option.
He's like, well, what do you think you're going to do?
We've only got one wing.
Hopefully they're good for it. I wonder if you can screw it up to where, like, the last one's a bad choice.
I can't remember. It might have happened.
Like, assuming you make right choices otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, that might have happened to me. Like I may have arrived here with a set that didn't quite. Well, actually, I arrived here with the Kazon, and I think it may not have.
Kazon are never a good choice.
Yeah,
so.
I think it may not have actually worked out. I can't remember. Oh well, it does just seem like all of our choices have worked out really well. Although on one hand, like, sure, there, like the doctor is saying that the hierarchy is doing really well, but like my tactical guy is also saying like, hey, these groups are being blown up. Although what it probably is that, like, yeah, looking at these groups on the side, 2 assault cruisers and 2 heavy artillery ships, like, yeah, like that Alpha Strike would just obliterate those groups. Alright, the other flank seems to be doing alright. They've got the, looks like they've got the 2 heavy artillery vessels left. Yeah, we can take care of these guys pretty easily. Okay, so there was some other news that came out this week as well. Cryptic revealed that they were upgrading the pilot sub-specialization to a full specialization, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Complete. They haven't exactly said how it's going to work, but
yeah, they've given some of the new skills. Some of them.
I think they listed the talent tree. I don't think they've said anything about bridge officer.
No, they said that they were going to be coming in a later blog, so yeah. Probably within the next few weeks.
That'll probably be a season 10 thing.
Yeah, they've been, like, all the stuff they've been talking about lately looks like is absolutely in preparation for season 10. Like, they talked about two new queued missions this week as well. But yeah, first I want to talk a little bit more about the pilot. So, in addition to them upgrading pilot from a secondary specialization to a full specialization, they're also changing the way specializations work so that they've decided to change their philosophy, because the original reason why they had full specializations and sub-specialization, or secondary specializations, is because they wanted to have... Yeah, I just need to
we need to disable their repair things so they don't fix their ships.
Yeah, they wanted the primary specializations to be useful everywhere. So like the intelligence specialization and the command specialization, as people may have noticed, have abilities that are useful on ground and useful in space, and their capstones tend to be useful everywhere. So what they've decided to do is, instead, realizing that there are people who prefer to have focus on one method of play or another, they have decided to say, like, okay, we will allow ourselves to make specializations, full specializations, that are only useful in one aspect of the game, and then not worry about how, not worry about needing to balance it for both space and ground. And so they're doing this first by upgrading pilot to a full specialization. Commando, the other secondary specialization, which is the ground-based one, they have said they are not doing anything with it yet, but they are likely to give it the full upgrade treatment at some point as well. So the way this will work, as I mentioned, you will now be able to choose any specialization as your secondary specialization. And the way this will work is that any specialization you choose as your secondary specialization will only have up to its second tier available for use. You will still be able to buy the later tiers, but you will only be able to use abilities up to tier 2. So basically exactly the way it is right now for the current secondary specializations, because the secondary specializations only have 2 tiers.
Yeah. Basically, if you've ever played a Final Fantasy Tactics game, it's like a sub-job.
Yeah.
Or I guess I should say any Final Fantasy with a sub-job, job system, but...
Yeah, pretty much. So we got their command ship here. Let's just blow that up. So yeah, so they also announced 2... Oh. Actually, no, I'll finish with the news first. So yeah, they also announced 2 new queued missions. One is going to be 1 space 1, 1 ground 1. Both of them actually sound pretty neat, so I'm looking forward to trying them out. The space one is it kind of sounds like it's going to be like a new version of kind of like what the Breach is, which is like one of my favorite queued missions in the entire game. We got one more heavy artillery vessel here that's stuck in the geometry.
Whoopsie.
Because it looks like you're going to have your fleet invade. There we
go.
Oh, you can shoot it from the. Okay.
You have to get on this side.
Okay. It just looks like it's more visible on the other side. So your fleet is invading basically a staging area for a servitor race of the Iconians that is. And this,
it's the abduction dudes.
Yeah, and
they were in one of the I want to say the one with Worf. One of the early Dyson Sphere missions.
Yes, they were. Yeah, so we're basically invading their way station, which allows them to send the ships basically it runs the Iconian Gate network.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is we're going to defend Kronos from attack. And I don't think it actually says who's attacking. It's just some.
Probably Iconians.
It's probably not actually. It's probably not actually Iconians.
The collectors.
Yeah, it's probably someone. But yeah. So that one is. You're. It's a ground mission. You're going to help defend Kronos from attack. Which that one sounds like it could be kind of cool. I mean, ground combat in Star Trek Online is still not that great, but some of their ground queued missions lately have actually been pretty good. So, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they do. I really want to Bug Hunt because the way it's structured and its objectives are actually kind of neat. It's just Bug Hunt has a big problem with my own build because of the way the bluegills work. I know I mentioned it in the video when we first encountered the bluegills, but it's just because they swarm more than basically any other enemy group. It's hard to keep them from just instantly destroying all my summons. So, it kind of makes what I do less useful. Mm-hmm. But this one on Kronos probably isn't going to be quite like that, so it should actually be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to both of those. Now, I think that's all they've really talked about this week.
There's been some little fluffy.
There was the
things,
yeah, there's that,
debriefings and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was that interesting fluff piece about the next week's mission.
It's like it's the type of thing where like it's you're best served by going and actually reading it because
they also so this is getting
if you're interested in that,
and this is getting into like just very specific dev talk, so I can understand why they didn't make a blog post about it. But I was actually fascinated by this. One of the devs made a post on the forums talking about a change that's going to be happening in Season 10, where... So, back with the release of Delta Rising, or actually slightly before Delta Rising, they added the ability to upgrade items. The way that they made that capability is that they, in their own internal item database, they created the idea of a dynamic item. The way that these dynamic items work is that basically, well, more specifically, the way that items worked before is that each individual combination of potential suffixes and prefixes and energy types and marks were a specific item entry in their database. So, for example, a Mark 1 phaser rifle and a Mark II phaser rifle were two entirely separate items inside their own internal database. And
then a green one with each.
Yeah, a green one with each mod was its own entry. So like all stuff like that. And the dev was saying that not only was this incredibly inefficient, but it was also causing the database to take it was basically doubling how long it needed to take to start the server because of needing to initialize this database. And then when they decided to increase the mark limit for Delta Rising to 14, if they hadn't have done the dynamic items for any item that was greater than Mark 12, then it would have incredibly it would have been ridiculous for their item database. So what they've done is, ever since the release of Delta Rising, every time that you've at least attempted to upgrade an item, they've converted it to the dynamic item format. In the dynamic item format, instead of having a separate entry in the item table for this is what this item is, dynamic items instead are dynamic. It doesn't map to a specific entry in the item table saying this is what this item is. It's more of a dynamic array. So the slot that item takes up has its own information saying this is what the mark level is, this is what the mods on it are, this is what its rarity is, and so on and so forth. So in terms of the specific storage of that item, it takes up more space, but in terms of the overall storage, it takes up less, and it's not quite as harmful to the server efficiency. So as people have been attempting to upgrade their gear, it has been converting those items into dynamic items. What they're going to be doing for Season 10 is they're going to now do this for every single item in the game. So they're going to run a script basically that will automatically convert all items that can be dynamic items into dynamic items, and then deleting the original items from the database entirely. So when you log on to Season 10, there will no longer be a gigantic item table with 44,000 phaser rifles in it. There will now just be, here's the basic table with all the items and their like initial potential properties, and then everything else will be dealt with by the dynamic system.
Which, of course, they have said that the end user result of this is not going to be that noticeable.
Yeah, you as the user are not the one thing that a normal user will notice, assuming that there are no bugs during the conversion, because they mentioned that if if they don't quite catch all of them correctly, when users log into Season 10, they may find items that have no icons and cannot be moved in their inventory. But assuming that it all works out correctly, the only thing that people will notice is that they will no longer have problems with set item bonuses if they have attempted to or have actually upgraded one or more pieces of the set, but not all the pieces of the set. Like if you have a set, you can. The way sets work now is that it doesn't require all the items, all the pieces to be of the same rank. You can make a set that has, like, you can upgrade a set independently of the rest of them.
Yeah.
The problem is that in order to do that, all the items of the set must actually be dynamic items. If one item in the set is a dynamic item and the rest of the items are not, then the set actually breaks for all of them, because the non-dynamic item versions are looking for this specific item ID, and the dynamic items are looking for the dynamic item version, and they're not seeing each other, basically.
Yeah.
So the effective benefit to the end user is going to be that they will stop having this occasional bug appear, which is great, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what was I going to say?
Although you are clearly not the brightest aliens in the universe, your
I think we're still talking tough, even though we've fought our way through his armada down to the planet and basically have him cornered.
Yeah, like it's...
Surrender now, and I give you my word I will spare your people. That's twice you've refused my generosity. I should be insulted, but your pitiful blindness makes it difficult.
Of course.
Bug hunt.
Yeah, of course there's going to be a bunch of those. Yeah, so that was all the real news from the last week. I, though, want to actually talk a little bit about the potentials for the pilot specialization.
Do a barrel roll.
Yeah, think about, like, what will... Because, so far they've added...
Well, the stuff they have is very much based around mobility and stuff already.
Yeah.
Like I think one was if one shield facing takes damage, another one gains damage resistance for a time, and if all four of them have this buff, you are just flat out immune to damage for like 2 seconds.
Something like that, yeah.
Is that the best you
Yeah, and like right now, like the pilot abilities are like if you take damage in your rear section, you gain like a you gain like a mobility bonus. So like I'm interested in like what they will do. Like I'm interested in seeing what the ship. Like sort of ships that they're going to make that will benefit, like that will have the pilot slots.
My hope, as I've mentioned, is Tier 6 Defiant.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. I mean, I know I mentioned to you like why I don't think so much they would do that, but I want them to do that. And yeah, like I'm hoping that like
I'm
releasing
willing to bet it whatever it's going to be is an escort.
Yes,
because they have been doing a ton.
They have been doing way too many cruisers lately. I know I mentioned sort of I think you had stepped out at that point, but like there are two things I want them to do with this. Like if they're going to be releasing a set of new ships to take advantage of the pilot specialization, and it's going to be more than just like a one-off, because like when Season 10 comes out, it's going to be very, very close to the summer event. The odds are this year's Rizian ship is probably going to have a pilot specialization slot in it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that ship will be because they've already done a Rizian escort and a Rizian cruiser.
No, they could do another.
They could probably do another Rizian escort. Like, heck, they could probably just do T6 Rizian Corvette. You know.
Yeah. Probably I've got a fast track for that one too because I think I collected some extra pearls last year.
Oh, nice.
Assuming it's the same item.
Yeah. But what I am very much hoping that they will do, if they're going to taking this opportunity to make a batch of ships for a new specialization mode, I very much hope that they take this opportunity to not only make some more escorts, because heaven knows there's kind of not enough escorts, and there's too many cruisers in this game, especially battle cruisers. Like for such a small niche, Cryptic has been spending a lot of time building a lot of them lately, which I don't necessarily.
It's because they can jack of all trades. Things.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not saying that I don't like the battle cruisers, because I do. I really like those ships, but
obviously I'm using one.
Yeah, but they've been building a lot of them lately. Like ever since the Avenger, I would say at least 75% of the cruisers they've made since then have been battle cruisers, or at least battle cruiser like. But yeah, I'm hoping that they not only use this opportunity to release more escorts, but take this opportunity to build more, just build more of the lesser seen niches. They definitely need to build more raptors. They need to build more birds of prey for sure. They had they didn't have a bird of prey for Delta Rising's release. Nope. It was 2 battle cruisers. No, was it?
I thought one was a raptor.
Oh, okay.
But it could be.
Okay.
I don't.
It was probably.
I don't really like main Klingon.
Yeah,
at all,
it was probably a battle cruiser and a raptor. Regardless, they need more raptors and they need more birds of prey. One I would really.
Romulan's got the escort alike and a battle
cruiser.
Alike.
Yep.
While this conflict
and yeah, the Fed's got one of each, but a cruiser and a quote unquote battle cruiser. Like, to be fair,
actually they got 2 science vessels. I think.
No, it was
because they got the it wasn't intelligence, but they got the Dauntless too.
Right? Yeah, they got the intelligence. They got the intelligence science vessel. They got the Dauntless science vessel. They got the Guardian cruiser, which was a full-on cruiser. They got the Phantom, which was a light cruiser, which is basically a battle cruiser.
Phantom was an escort.
Oh, so yes, the Phantom. I'm thinking of the whatever. The Eclipse.
Yes.
Even though Admiral
then they got the Phantom, which was an escort, and that was the one escort. Where's Harry? See? Oh, he's up. He's up top. But yeah, I'd like to see them make some more destroyers, because that's a very small niche that they haven't really done a whole lot with. They're probably not going to do that for this, for this specialization. They're probably going to have to wait for another specialization or another batch of ships, because I don't necessarily see them justifying. Is it this way? No, it's not. It's not outside. It's back inside. You can just barely see it on the map.
It's this door.
Yeah. They want us to use this here. So yeah, it's stuff that I really want them to do stuff with. So here's hoping.
This device is not for me.
Here's hoping that we'll see some interesting ships coming as a result of this announcement. What would also actually be really neat, and probably it's one of those things which is a little bit less useful, but considering some of the stuff from Voyager, I would imagine that they would want to maybe make some shuttles with pilot officer slots.
That would make sense too.
Right, so we have defeated Gaul and have broken the Vaadwaur's armada, and we'll hopefully bring peace back to the Delta Quadrant, even though we kind of did this ourselves.
Yeah. Now we gotta go check out something. Okay. Let's see where our time was. We're at like 45 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll have to actually be kind of quick about this one.
Or just have an extra long episode since it's the end of the story.
Yeah. I mean, I said I wanted to do these two. So now we're going to do the finale of the Delta Rising story.
Yeah, this was added a couple weeks after, I believe.
A couple weeks after, yeah. So now we're going to investigate that. Okay. So that item that we just found at the end of that mission, we're now going to go talk to the guys that have been studying it, seeing what is up with this weird thing.
Those guys, of course, being Voyager.
Yep. All right, let's meet with them.
Yep. But yeah, I'm personally hoping, well, at least at some point, one of the pilot ships is a Tier 6 Defiant, because I really want a Tier 6 Defiant. I would probably buy it first day.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Day one purchase.
Yeah. I would...
And really, the Defiant kind of needs some TLC.
Yeah.
I think so, because
Here's
console cloaking device, not super great.
Here's kind of there's two reasons why I'm hesitant on them doing a new Defiant here. The first one is the Phantom is not only effectively a Defiant, but it really looks a lot like one. The other problem is I don't know if I'd want them to burn, so to speak, a Defiant rebuild on this when it's likely that they want to do a Gamma Quadrant heavy thing later. They could... Where are you going? Oh.
Where's Tuvok
He
going?
just doesn't care, okay.
Okay, fine. Bye, Tuvok.
If they did a Delta Rising expansion, were you not able to go to engineering? Oh, did you fall through the floor?
Yes, I fell through the floor.
Okay.
And it said, "Hey, we can't find you. Beam up." So.
All right, so they were a little bit more intelligent about it this time.
Yeah. So I'm not falling into space dead.
We transported the device to engineering.
All right, so there's actually a device there in stasis.
The first thing we need to do is determine how it's communicating. We can't find any normal transmission.
Except I can't turbo lift.
You can't take the turbo lift?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm stuck in the transporter bay.
Oh dear.
That's okay.
Alright, well, whatever. At least I'm here studying it.
I'm sure eventually it'll want to beam us somewhere.
Alright, so we know that it needs to communicate somehow. We're not detecting any obvious forms, so I'm going to scan for... Certainly not multidimensional, so we'll look for chronotons. It's clearly not teleporting through time. But the Vaadwaur...
I like how these are the first things we go to.
Yeah. Is it another dimension, or is it talking through time? No, the answer is... And in hindsight, it's one of those things where you probably should have realized this, but it communicates through subspace. Because the Vaadwaur... not only do the Vaadwaur proclaim themselves masters of the underspace, which is a subspace form, but the kind of people they're dealing with lately have also been masters of subspace.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Could be from Gallifrey.
The device communicates with subspace. We should have guessed that.
So now we need to access the device's memory core.
The engineering team here on Voyager is good, and I've heard your team is top-notch, but it might take more time.
Alright, so we're going to have everyone work together, and now we need to basically play with the dip switches on the device until we can get access to the memory core.
It's a big red button.
Something like
There's
that.
a big red button, you should press it.
Alright, 3 switches on the device, each one can be oriented either on or off. We need to get all 3 switches to the correct orientation. So we'll switch one. Let's see, on.
The engineers tell me there is only one
So
switch.
we're basically playing Mastermind right now.
Unfortunately, we can't.
Woo!
The engineers tell me there is only one switch.
Okay.
The engineers tell me there is only.
I'm just sitting down here poking Tuvok.
The engineers tell me there is. The engineering teams tell me 2 of the switches are in the correct mode.
Oh, really? Slash poke is not an emote?
The engineering teams. The engineering.
Why is
teams-
poke not an emote?
The engineers tell me there is.
Okay.
Stomp.
The engineering teams tell me 2 of the. The
Can do the running man. Speaking of summer event.
engineering teams are reading big zeros.
Oh.
Sir, I'm consulting with the engineers.
It must be randomized because apparently the correct answer was
All the switches are
the
in the correct
default
position.
answers.
We now have access to the
All of
primary
them
memory
off.
of the device.
It's like,
Unfortunately, we're
oh,
only halfway
okay.
there.
Alright, and then we'll access the
Secondary
secondary memory. Which is once again these 3 switches, so we'll
The
evaluate.
engineering teams tell
So
me
2 of them need to be off.
The engineers tell me there
Alright,
is.
so it's not that one.
The engineers tell
It's
me.
not that one.
Looks like
It is now. Alright.
all the switches are in the
Now we have access to the memory. So now we need to run. Oh, we're beaming the device to astrometrics. Now we ourselves need to go to astrometrics. So, do you have? Oh, actually, because of how weird this has been going, I should probably use the turbo lift first. Oh, never mind. It's on the same floor. So you still can't get into the turbo lift?
No, well, I can get into the turbo lift, it's just not letting me go anywhere.
Oh.
We have access to the
It's
data
okay.
of the device. Very efficient.
I'm sure you can handle all this sciencey crap.
So
Yeah.
far, we will be able to pinpoint the exact transmission coordinates.
You know, when you need to shoot something, let me know.
It's possible that
Well, unfortunately, you'll be in a whole other room. Alright, so now we'll try to extract the data.
Ignore the car honking outside my window.
Alright, so we now have 3 options for trying to decrypt basically where the transmissions are going. We can either just brute force it, encrypt the query, or do a multi-vectored. We can ask, like, what are the possibilities? Yeah, if we brute force, we will definitely alert the recipient. Encrypted will likely trip some sort of alarm. If we do a multi-vector, we probably won't. So we'll do that. No unusual,
Fine.
no unusual activity
Be
is,
sneaky about
is
it.
detected, and we have located a place we can go and hit up. So now we'll. Okay, so now we go back to the transporter room, which conveniently you're already there. And we'll go talk to Tuvok.
Fascinating. Excellent work. With this location, we may be
Right.
able to finally review
So we'll-
Vaadwaur, their advanced
Oh,
technology.
Commander Jarok is going to come and join us.
Here again, this time and place. Finally, Voyager's emergency medical
And it has something to do with the Ilachi.
And then the doctor's going to come with us. So might as well say hi to him.
Hello again.
And yeah, we'll beam up and carry on to where we're supposed to go here.
Good work doing all that sciencey crap.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know. I would I agree. I would like to see them do a rehashed Defiant. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like one of those things where the few escorts they've been doing lately have been of that same ilk. Like they did the Phantom. They just released a T6 Bug, which is like still basically that same type of ship. If they did a T6 Defiant, and here's the other thing: like if they were to do like the niche that they would have to give the T6 Defiant is also the niche of the Phantom. Like the only thing they could do to differentiate it is give it a different. Like it would not be an intelligence ship. They'd probably have to make it a 5.3 or a 4.3 like other Raptors. Like they couldn't leave it as like the same weapon loadout.
Yeah.
Right. So we can ask the commander about what the Ilachi are, and then she'll basically give us the brief history of what they do as part of the Romulan Republic storyline.
I need to do this on my Romulan now to know if
she says anything different.
Yeah, I'm just assuming she does.
Yeah, she probably will. Like, it makes sense. But let's just say that it would be really awkward for her to not. I mean, actually, yeah, now that you mentioned that, I do have to go see if there is something different about that dialogue choice.
Just like, in case you got hit on the head and got amnesia.
Yeah, like, why would you forget? Like, you were there.
In case all that Telshire brainwashing made you forget.
We'll see. Like, I'm sure they're going to start talking about what the like if they're going to be releasing some pilot specialization ships, then they'll probably be talking about them soon. In addition to what those ships might be, I also kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what their niche ability is going to be. Because I know I mentioned this to you. So, like, what I would like to see them do is, one of the things I really like a lot about Star Trek Online space combat is that it feels a lot like a more action-oriented version of Starfleet Command. And I really like Starfleet Command. I need to get my copies of it working. Like, see if I can actually play it.
GOG needs to get it.
GOG needs to get a lot of Star Trek stuff, yeah. But I want to see if I can get Starfleet Command running on my computer so I can do some videos of it. I actually really want to do that. But one of the abilities in Starfleet Command is the ability to do a high-speed turn. Like if your pilot's skill level is high enough, you can have them do a very high-speed turn, which is basically doing like up to a 180-degree turn instantly.
Yeah. Which apparently like hurts you or something.
It will do some damage to the ship, but if your pilot's skill is too low, then not only will it do more damage, but it also basically causes your ship to turn off for a limited period of time. Mm-hmm. It's like your ship basically crashes and requires a few moments to basically come back online. Which can be a real big deal for some of the missions in Starfleet Command. So I would really like to see them make the pilot specialization ship niche be high-speed turns. Maybe not necessarily be like a random chance of success or failure, but like have that sort of idea. And especially when
I just want once a barrel roll.
Actually, I think that's already a pilot specialization ability.
I think it might be.
I was thinking we should split up.
Alright, so we'll split up and cover.
This is obviously an Ilachi facility.
Oh, yes. So the air here is for Lachi. So we would either need to have an environmental suit or a rebreather in order to carry on in here. I don't know if we have rebreathers, so I'm just going to put on my upgraded Solanae suit. And
I sadly don't have that one.
I can give I got a suit I can have Naylan wear. So your poor Elsa Flores is probably just going to die.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, oh well.
I don't. Yeah, because I keep that stuff in my bank. So unless I can access the bank here in Alachi land.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, the tier 2 pilot specialization ability is rock and roll, which is rolling your ship.
Barrel roll.
Yep. But yeah, I am very, very interested in seeing if they are going to announce pilot specialization ships, and if they do, what those ships are going to be. It's probably going to be escorts, or at the very least, like very fast ships. I really hope it's not going to be more battle cruisers.
I don't think it will be.
They've also kind of played their hand a little early, because it would have been really funny if they had released the Pathfinder with a pilot slot. Did you get turned around?
I think I did. There we go.
Yeah, I think it would have been funny if they had, if they had the pilot slots before, then they could have had the Pathfinder have one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm actually kind of imagining that if they are going to be making some pilot specialization ships, it will probably be escorts and small vessels. Alright, so investigate. Oh, yep, so here we are with another facility of captives being turned into Alachi, so we better rescue them.
Yeah, we can never be friends with someone who turns another race into their own. It's sick and wrong.
Yeah, that's not very nice of them one bit.
We're transporting you to a rendezvous ship.
This one is actually just more especially creepy because they do it to living people, whereas at least the Kobali do it to the dead.
Yeah. And the Borg do it to living people.
Yes,
too.
they do, and we don't consider
the Borg are screwed up.
Yeah, we don't necessarily consider them good guys either. Although the collective's okay. Cooperative, whatever.
Collective is not okay.
I know. That's what they get for choosing like the same name. My goodness. Alright. What do we got here?
Even the Borg.
Yep. Yep.
You'll be back on duty. Everything will be fine.
It's pretty sad that the Borg won't assimilate a case.
Yeah. That was also a pretty great reference as well. But yeah, but it also just goes to show how desperate the Alachi are if they're... Actually, they probably don't even know, to be quite honest. I mean, the Borg and the Kazon operate in the same regions, so at least the Borg has had time to assimilate them and be like, yeah, this is not worth our time at all.
The other difference is the Borg do it for
We need to
gaining like technological and distinctiveness and stuff, whereas the Alachi just straight up turn.
Yeah, the Alachi are replenishing their forces.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. They could probably do it to cows. It does beg the question why not do it to like cows. Maybe it has to be a humanoid species.
I mean, it could require the creatures to be bipedal, like, or have some sort of like basic genetic styling, and not necessarily usable for every creature. Apparently defeated 100 Alachi.
Woohoo!
Move to window.
This is odd. You sound like you're in a Solinate lab, but we're in some place that looks like a prison. In fact, I'd say that's exactly
Well, they're in a prison.
just had a breakout.
All right,
Whoever it was,
we'd better try and catch up.
Weird.
Yeah. Do do do.
This must be where the Vaadwaur were implanted with those mind-controlling bugs.
Also, oddly, my Lisa Flores is not dying, so maybe it only needs me to do this.
Oh, she's got the debuff.
Did you know that several Starfleet officers were infected by these in the mid-2360s? The Enterprise logs from that era are fascinating.
Oh, there she goes.
Dozen hours to spare.
I mean, I see the debuff on her where she should be taking damage, but yeah, I don't know.
If Gaul and the infected Vaadwaur were communicating with this station,
All right, so this seems to be where the
the empirical evidence is right in front of me.
what is he seeing?
This tech, this
Oh,
whole
he's only just now processing that this whole thing is Iconian.
There are variations on the norm, of course.
But yeah, like,
Solinate
it's
and
this place seems to be where the Vaadwaur were first introduced to the Blue Gales.
rarely reveal themselves. The only known interaction with an Iconian.
Oh, and then the doctor points out that, well, the only recent meeting with an Iconian was, oh, right, you were there. I don't even need to tell you this.
The Iconians don't like to act directly. They use servitor races, like the Alachi and the Solinate, to cause chaos in bed. When Voyager revived the Vaadwaur, their
Now we find out the bluegills are bioengineered creatures.
Basically made to create servitor races for the Iconians. And now, here we are, so it's like, when the Vaadwaur were woken up, their technology was ancient, and now somehow they're cutting edge. What could have happened? Well, they met with the Iconians.
But they gave the Iconians control. They were ultimately the
So,
ones pulling
like,
the strings.
basically, the doctor is letting us know, like,
Against the
yep,
enemy we didn't even see.
it was the Iconians.
Jerks.
It's always the Iconians. But first, we're going to destroy the neuroparasite. We gotta activate something here to destroy the neuroparasites. Where is that?
I don't know.
Am I not seeing a highlightable ability thing here?
It's in here.
Oh, is it?
I think so. No, it's not anything we have to activate. We just have to kill them.
Oh, okay. Come on, start firing. Oh, okay. No, I see what it is. I was just. There we go. So now we can run around, investigate these implantation devices.
This is more like a factory than a laboratory.
Scanning.
Some of this technology is ancient, but it's quite advanced.
Yeah, because the species that we're dealing with here is one that's been working with the Iconians for quite some time now.
Jerks.
Yeah.
These parasites aren't a natural species at all. They look
You said that already.
engineered.
Yeah. Alright. Well, okay, we've done everything here. We've made the connections between the Iconians and the Bluegills. So now we'll run back. Okay, so those ones that have been running around have been just kind of... Alright, so here we've got a set of color-phased Elachi. We can only attack the blue ones. Or more specifically, the blue one's the only one that will take damage. So we just need to make sure that we switch targets regularly. Otherwise, like, it's not really a difficult fight. It's just interesting. Like, it's actually kind of a fascinating design.
I seem to recall a fight exactly like this in Old Republic. Where you have two things, you can only hurt one at a time.
I mean, this sort of thing is fairly common in a lot of games, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
A dead Romulan in prisoner garb. I'll have to... So,
Maybe we should avoid.
there are some Romulans that were here before.
I think I've seen enough combat.
Oh, Doctor. It's probably not that big of a deal. Come on.
Yeah, we fought giant bugs.
Yeah.
And Elachi. What's a Romulan prisoner? How bad could a Romulan prisoner be?
Yeah. And where are they getting some Romulan prisoners?
Well, they've been kidnapping Romulans for like a long time.
Yeah, that's true. I guess this is the cause of our breakout.
Humans.
And it's Emperor Sayla. My goodness. Whoever thought that we'd see
I
her again?
totally wouldn't have seen this coming if it weren't for a stupid article on the website last week. What was the announced new episode? So since rescuing Sayla last year, like,
Well,
screw you.
to be fair, it's been a while since that episode, and they couldn't, because of the way the story works. It's not like they could talk about a new episode without
I know
needing to reference that. Like, yes, I get what you're saying. This is actually kind of weird. Like, I understand the point of the noxious gas drone for other missions, but because the way to negate their ability is to use the things that we're doing, like you use the stuff that we're wearing here, it makes me wonder why they even bother to spawn those drones at all, because then they just do nothing.
I don't know.
Looks like you could use a hand.
Maybe because they just are set to do
Yeah,
that.
it's just probably part of the formula that they use. It just seems kind of goofy because their only purpose in life is to spread basically the same gas that's in this room. But, like, you can't be... I mean, theoretically, you probably could have gotten to this point without... I still love how goofy and dumb using the phaser orbital strike is anywhere. But like you,
it is pretty amusing.
You probably couldn't get to this point without using an environmental suit, so you're already immune to the ability. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, you're talking to J-Rock?
Sure.
Yeah, because I can't talk to her.
She obviously wants to kill Sayla right off the bat. I personally don't think that's a bad idea.
That's probably not a bad idea, but she also has a lot of very useful information considering she's been held by the Iconians for a few months. So we should...
We need her alive.
Yeah.
Not so fast. You have the weapons, but I have...
And she's still talking like she's in charge of the Romulan Empire.
Rebels under control. You've stumbled into something. I assume you already know where you are.
So
Both
she's
the Alachi and the Solanae serve the Iconians.
also still expositing more about the stuff that we already know.
They're the ones who created those creatures. Hakiv joined the Iconians.
Yeah, so now she's explaining like why this is the first time we're seeing the neuroparasites. Because the Romulans that joined up with the Iconians did so willingly, whereas the Vaadwaur were more demanding, let's just say.
Well, to be fair, Hakiv thought they were gods, so why mess with that?
Yeah. Like, it's like Hakiv was going to basically worship them no matter what. So they didn't require to control him, whereas the Vaadwaur had a very self-grandiose opinion of themselves and just wanted to have the power to take back what they thought was rightfully theirs. Alright, so let's ask a few questions. Like, yeah, so that now we can interrogate her a little bit. Why did she work with the Iconians? Because she was too proud of herself to go to the Federations or the Klingons and ask for assistance like the Republic did.
We are not refugees. We are Romulan. We needed a strong leader
And the Republic is actually thriving, whereas she is in prison. So,
of course, she blows it off. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. All right. What it was the weakness of the Iconians? It's their own hubris. Alright, what else? What's their master plan?
I honestly don't know. Why would they share their plans with a prisoner? That may make me less valuable in your eye. I'll answer what I can.
Where's their crew? Oh, well, all around. What else is there? Okay, nope, that's it. So,
will I be taken into your custody, or will I be left to Chiaru's teams?
Well, we're going to give her to Commander Jirok to carry away and meet her back at headquarters someday. And this someday is like next week.
Yeah, Thursday.
Well,
Friday.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah, I mean next Thursday is when the mission is supposed to release, and then we'll be.
We have perfect timing.
Yeah, my goodness, wow. All right, we'll beam into this instance whenever it loads.
It's thinking.
Yeah, it's basically trying to find an instance for us, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess after we decided to do a short one last week, or we're making up for it.
We end up doing a long one this week.
Yeah, we're making up for it.
We have Empress Sela in our brig. When she was taken by the Iconians last year,
Alright, yeah, so...
people thought she would get away with her heinous crimes against the
the Romulans are going to hold on to her until trial, but they're going to make her available to the rest of the Alliance.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I'd call a walk in the park. At least we know exactly.
Oh, Doctor.
And you've certainly put a crick in their plans. On the upside,
yeah.
As a photonic life form, I'm immune to any attempts at subversion
anyway.
by neuroparasites.
And so ends Delta Rising. For now.
We'll return to sector space, turn in this quest, and yeah, that ends the Delta Rising story as of this moment. Cryptic has basically said that the mission that they're going to be releasing next week is going to be basically doing the start, like starting the stuff for season 10, Yeah, so I'm looking forward to hearing more about what Season 10 is and what it's going to be encompassing. I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be a fair amount of missions, like, because they're going to kind of need a few to set up some of these things that they're doing.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what they got.
But yeah, I am definitely looking forward to seeing whatever it is they've got up their sleeves, and they should be talking some about it fairly soon. Because with how long seasons have generally been for the past few years, I'm kind of actually expecting Season 10 to be launching, I'd probably say around the end of April to the middle of May. It may be a little earlier than that, but I'm kind of expecting it to be around the end of April. So, we'll see, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yep.
But that'll be it for us for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we hope to see you all next time.
Bye, everybody.